And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, in today's video we're of course going to be previewing the game between Leicester City and Liverpool at Anfield in the EFL Cup. We're also going to be going for a few other bits and pieces within the Liverpool space as well, but the main topic of today's video will be with regards to the match on Wednesday. As I said, we are at that time of year now where we are playing 2 times a week, and if we want to be successful, want to be competing in all competitions, it's going to be the case all the way until the sort of January period, the Christmas period, due to the Europa League being played on a Thursday and then Premier League matches usually playing on a Sunday. However, we are playing on a Wednesday. We're going to be taking on Leicester City. Now, Leicester City have changed a lot since we last played them. Yes, they're a complete different side with Pep's number 2, or Pep's former number 2, Maresca, now in charge of the Foxes. Now, Leicester City, of course, it was a shock relegation last year. There was a conversation to be had whether they were pushing in to be the part of the new top 6, obviously after winning the Premier League, having 2 top 5 finishes and being a bit more consistent than the likes of Arsenal over the last sort of 6 years, bar last season for Arsenal. But yeah, there was a serious conversation that we were having, or people were having, whether Leicester City should be included within the sort of top 6, top 7 clubs. However, that was firmly shut out after they got relegated last year. However, things have changed for them. Yes, Leicester City, Liverpool are hosting Leicester in the League Cup, but can expect a very different side to the one we faced in the Premier League last season. There was no banana skin when the Reds met Leicester at Anfield and the King Power last season with a 2-1 win, followed by a 3-0 victory on the road. By that point, Dean Smith's side were teetering on the brink of relegation, which was then confirmed on the final day of the campaign. Smith departed less than 3 weeks later as Leicester prepared for a shock return to the Championship, with a new face brought in to replace him. Enzo Maresca took over on the same day Smith's exit was confirmed, leaving his position as the assistant manager to Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Leicester also saw 13 senior players depart, including big money sales of James Maddison to Tottenham and Harvey Barnes to Newcastle, while 9 were also brought in. Among new arrivals were ex-Liverpool youngster Connor Cody, England midfielder Harry Winks, and winger Abdul Fattah Uiska, who was strongly linked to a move to Anfield before joining Sporting Lisbon in 2022. Maresca, who spent the first 2 months of his tenure living in Leicester's training ground, as he told BBC, to get the sensation as he had now overseen 10 games. In those 10 games, Leicester have won 9 and lost 1, that being a 1-0 defeat to early promotion rivals Hull in September. The record stands at 18 goals scored and 5 conceded, with 5 clean sheets. Liverpool got a taste of the new Leicester when they faced Maresca's side in pre-season, but the 4-0 victory in Singapore came against an unfamiliar side. Callum Doyle, the left-back on loan from Manchester City, has clocked the most minutes for the Foxes so far this season, with Winks and Wout Faes not far behind. Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, Yannick Vestergaard, Ricardo Pereira and Wilfred Ndidi remain at the core of the squad, but the new faces include forward Steffi Mavidi, goalkeeper Mans Hensman and winger Casey McAteer. McAteer is currently Leicester's top goal scorer with 4, while Ndidi and Jamie Vardy both have 3, and Dewsbury-Hall, Malvidi and Iheanacho all have 2. Dewsbury-Hall is their leading goal scorer of contributions with 2 goals and 3 assists. Leicester's most recent outing resulted in a 1-0 victory over Bristol City of the King Power, moving them to the top of the Championship through Vardy's winner. The day Maresca fielded his usual 4-3-3 setup, though at times this season he has deployed a 3-4-3, including in both previous rounds of the League Cup. The possible starting 11 that I will be going for Leicester is going to be Storaklaik, Justin, Doyle, Faes, Pereira, Ndidi, Winks, Mavdidi, Dewsbury-Hall, Kazadi and Vardy. So yes, a different kind of challenge, and despite them being in the Championship, I do expect a tough game. However, having said that, Liverpool should be dismantling this Leicester City side. As I said, we looking at ourselves as potential title contenders, certainly a team that are looking to try and get top 2, top 3 finish this season, get back into the Champions League. We shouldn't be struggling at all at Anfield against the side that's in the Championship, despite, as I said, in having that conversation, that they were a very, very good and were pushing towards a top 6 sort of finish over the last sort of couple of years. However, I do expect us to fully go out there and win the game. With regards to our team, I do think there will, of course, be a bit of a rotation. I'm looking towards that Europa League game against Lask. I do think, of course, this tie will be harder, just because I think the Championship probably is a bit better than the Austrian Bundesliga, and no disrespect intended, is certainly the top half of the Championship. But I do expect us to rotate. I don't expect the same team to start as they did against West Ham. I do feel like there will be players rested, just because we're in that congested period, and I don't think Jurgen Klopp wants to risk too much. So I do probably expect Kelleher to be in goal. Probably Tsimikas, who signed a new contract, to start out at left back. And then, of course, the sort of centre-back partnership, maybe with Van Dijk coming back in as he did in the Europa League. Kwanzaa, who also has impressed since he started, I probably would go with him. And then out on the right, well, that could be a conversation to be had. Trent Alexander-Arnold returning back to injury. Do we put Trent back in there? And basically see, just to try and get him some minutes back into the legs, or maybe just play him for half an hour at the end of the game to get him up to speed. In the midfield, I probably do expect Gravenberch to start again, and then maybe bringing in Endo, who seemed to have started in the Europa League also, and then probably be a bit more maybe Harvey Elliott or Basheshich there within the midfield as well. And then in the front three, I would likely go with Ben Doak getting another chance, but Darwin Núñez starting, and then again with Luis Diaz. But we'll certainly find out as that one comes up. But as I said, I do expect a few bits of rotation as we did in the Europa League. However, whatever team is fielded at Anfield against Leicester City should be enough to come over the Championship side and progress us into the next round of the Cup. Now, a lot of people do look down on the EFL Cup. I've certainly enjoyed our triumph back in 2022 against Chelsea in the final, but Manchester City, by the seams of things, aren't taking it seriously. They've got Newcastle in their game, but Pep's literally just said that he's going to be putting out a second string team for it and doesn't really care for the Carabao Cup. So it's just another competition that I think that we could go out there and win. I like to see this club win as much trophies as possible. It's a club, it's a history built on winning trophies. As I said, I think the EFL Cup gets a lot of bad rep, but certainly a trophy that I won't be complaining about winning come early March when the final is at Wembley. So yeah, I do want us to win. I do want to keep us winning momentum. We've got a big couple of games coming up, of course, within the Premier League as well. Good chance to rotate. Spurs at the weekend, then going into the Europa League again, and then we've got a massive game at Brighton away. So again, games are coming thick and fast, and keeping that winning feeling, keeping that winning momentum, keeping our unbeaten run is super important. With regards to team news, as I said, Trent Alexander-Arnold will likely return. Not saying that he's going to start, but I do expect him to get half an hour here or half an hour there within the game, maybe in the final on the 60th minute or something like that. But yeah, that's it. But Liverpool fans, do let me know your thoughts on the game. Do let me know your thoughts on the EFL Cup in general. And as I said, do let me know your score predictions down there in the old comment section below. That does bring us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Push.